Look, Sundown did like they outdone themselves in this match. And the strategy was simple: do the minimum and get the maximum. They did the minimum to get the maximum effort, and they qualified to go to the quarterfinals. And I've said it that in the after the match of the first leg of this fixture, when these two teams played 0-0 in Algeria, that Miguel Cardoso really knows how to play Rhulani Mokwena. He know how to master him. He know how to outshine him, and he does it like simply. He did it with Esperance. He's doing it now with Mamelodi Sundowns, and the results are really telling. The results are really telling that he's outsmarting Rhulani Mokwena in every way possible. And the first leg of this match when they played 0-0, one thing that Miguel Cardoso highlighted to me is that Rhulani Mokwena's team lacks a playmaker, and I've been stressing this for quite some time that MCL just lacks a playmaker in general. The team doesn't really have a player who can carry the ball, the player who can attack, the player who can make and clicks and make the team play. You know, mm. Unlike Mamelodi Sundowns, where you have a player like Sales, you have player like Marcelo Allende, you have player like Tebo Mokwena. Sometimes Jaden Adams comes in also. Eh, there's a lot going on in this Mamelodi Sundowns that we can really take from compared to MC Algiers. MT Algiers, as the great thing about them is that they play as a collective, they play as a team. But coming into this match, they were outplayed by Mamelodi Sundowns, and honestly, this match for me it was one-sided. They did, MC Algiers did really try to put in some threats here and then, but they came to no fruition. And kudos to Mamelodi Sundowns. Kudos to a player like Sales, who I think had a great game. Kudos to Tembazwane. Finally, I see that Tembazwane that we all love. That Tembazwane who can make Mamelodi Sundowns. Tembazwane who can outsmart the defense of the opponents. And Rhulani Mokwena's defense, they were very liquid. Like Mamelodi Sundowns could have also scored about 4 goals here. But yeah, and man, Mamelodi Sundowns really found so far they found a gem in Brian Leon. The guy is simply good. The guy as a forward, he is simply good. And he does one thing that he should do: score goals. Doesn't matter how you score them, that doesn't have to be pretty goals. Just score goals. And Mamelodi Sundowns, one thing about Mamelodi Sundowns is that they know how to play this competition. They've been unlucky not to win it more than once, but they are showing that they really know how to navigate around this competition. And I'll tell you one thing: it teams like Mamelodi Sundowns who go on to win competition like this. When you look at your Al Ali, when you look at your Wydad, when you look at your Esperance, even Mamelodi Sundowns themselves, when they won this competition, they didn't play a pretty football. In CAF, you don't need to play pretty football to win matches. You have to win matches. That's the solid that's the solid foundation and the basic foundation of playing CAF football. Most people compare CAF football with UEFA Champions League. Maybe it's because of the above Champions Leagues and from different continents. But when you look around all continents, all Champions Leagues differ, and CAF is a very, very, very defensive a competition. You don't concede goals, you advance. You don't have to come here and play the Orlando Pirates way. Orlando Pirates, they they the undoing of themselves it was that they wanted to play CAF Confederation, CAF Champions League the same way they played the league, and they ended up losing. They ended up being knocked out by St. Louis Lipopo. Even last season, they ended up losing in the semifinals against Pyramids by trying as much as possible to play beautiful football. Get the result. How you get the result, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, once again, kudos to Miguel Cardoso. This win relieves pressure from me, man. This win relieves pressure from the management of the team. Mamelodi Sundowns currently are going through one of the tense moments in their history. We haven't seen something like this recently in Mamelodi Sundowns, and it comes as a surprise. It comes as a shock for many that this is a well-run team, and things like the situation of of Mr. Marsha coming out, leaking of information. It's mind-boggling for a team like Mamelodi Sundowns, who we know that they have a well-placed system, a well-oiled machine in the team. From top to bottom, the team has been run well, but right now they've been going through a lot, and they are number two, and they find themselves chasing for it's been like years where they've been in this situation where they are chasing in the league. But right now, I personally, as a South African, very, very happy to see Mamelodi Sundowns advance to the quarterfinals. Right now, they are the only team in the entire CAF competition. Stellenbosch have been knocked out in the group stages. Kaizer Chiefs have been knocked out in the group stages also of the Confederation. Remember, both Kaizer Chiefs and Stellenbosch were playing CAF Confederation, whereas Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates were playing CAF Champions League. Orlando Pirates couldn't make it to the group stages, Mamelodi Sundowns did. And they are simply doing it. They are not doing it pretty, but they are just doing it. That's the most important part. And, let's go. Coming into this game, you know, I was like, I was enjoying watching Sales. He didn't have the greatest game in this, but he was making things very, very simple for Brian Leon. He was making things very, very easy for the midfielders. And yeah, I think Mamelodi Sundowns or Miguel Cardoso dominated Rhulani Mokwena and MC Alger from the middle of the pack. The middle field of Mamelodi Sundowns into this match was rock solid. The middle field of Mamelodi Sundowns coming into this match had one intention: uh, overload pressure onto the MC Alger's defense and ensure that whenever whenever whatever they do and whenever they try to catch a break, it's only when the ball is in the back of the net. And if you look at Brian Leon's goals, they were not pretty goals. They were not like, especially the second goal. We all saw the ball roll into the net after hitting the goalkeeper, and we're like, okay, did this go? And yeah, and to Mamelodi Sundowns supporters, is still like a rocket size for me as to why they don't get the support that they get. I was expecting a very, very full house, but we saw as the game progresses, it was like more supporters were still coming in. I'm not sure if they didn't know about this match or what was happening, but yeah, Miguel Cardoso, I repeat, Miguel Cardoso knows how to outsmart Rhulani Mokwena. Roland Miguel Cardoso knows how to play Rhulani Mokwena, knows how to beat him. It's as if MCL just are the ones who leaked their tactics to Mamelodi Sundowns. If anything, I will think Mr. Masha is part of the technical team for MC Algiers, and he leaked information to Mamelodi Sundowns. Allegedly, that's what happens. There's still a lot coming out of the story, and there's a separate video I've made of that. Please check it out. And yeah, but that was it. So Mamelodi Sundowns will either play El Ali, Stade Malien, and which team also are they? Can they be drawn with? Remember, the draw is on Wednesday for the quarterfinals, and I know Mamelodi Sundowns might be hoping to get one of those easy teams, because playing a team like an El Ali in the quarterfinals, it's very difficult. It's very, very difficult, but it's not something new for Sundowns, who've played El Ali for quite sometimes, and most of the times Mamelodi Sundowns also have managed to beat El Ali the same way as El Ali managed to beat Mamelodi Sundowns. I'll think they are on equal records right now, but I will have to confirm that. But yeah, this was a pretty game. This was a pretty good result for Mamelodi Sundowns. Although the entire game itself wasn't an interesting game. It wasn't like a game where we can sit still and just watch it. At some points, the game was just flowing and it was a little bit boring. But yeah, Mamelodi Sundowns find themselves on there having an upper hand over MC Alger. So Mamelodi Sundowns 2, MC Alger 0. I'm Martin Katleho, and this is the Offside Trap.